Okay. We're here. I think everything is fine. Let me just make sure that sound-wise, I am all here. As you know, technology sometimes, guys, it can be an issue. So I just want to make sure that sound-wise, I'm audible. And then we can start the show from there. So we just make sure that on all the platforms, Pela, now we say platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok at the same time. But with that comes a lot more that can go wrong in terms of tech. So I just have to make sure that we are good there, and then we can go from there. So just let me know in the comments, guys, those who are joining, if you can hear me. Then we'll go ahead and start the show. Okay, I think we're good on YouTube as well. Thank you, Small Credit Solution. Thank you, Sinje, with your burner account. With your burner account there. Thank you, Mninawa. Okay, Elvis. But you were with me just now, Elvis. You were with me just now in the afternoon. I'm going to go ahead and start the show. Welcome, everybody, to the Overthinking Football Show. I'm your host, George McQueen. I do this every Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon. And then also Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. You'll also catch me here. If you missed any of our wonderful shows, you're able to watch them all in full on YouTube and on Facebook. If you're on Facebook listening, if you're on Facebook watching, if you're on YouTube watching, just know that if you want to add your voice to the show, you have to join me on TikTok while I'm live. There'll come a point during the show where I'll say that I'm opening up the lines. And at the bottom of the screen, you'll see a little button that says multi-guest. You'll be able to click there, request, and I'll let you in so that you can add your voice to the show. Great news so far is that YouTube is monetized. So please head on over to YouTube, watch the videos, join the memberships. I have 3 membership levels for those that can support. Please help us content creators keep this up. I also have a donations account in my profile. So if you just click on the link in my profile, the link tree, it'll take you to a page that has the details. On Facebook is also available in my profile where you can donate. So yeah, just help me out there, guys. We are going to speak about Sundowns today. The Sundowns game that happened, of course, they qualified for Champions League. But first, I want to start with the Linda Mtambo tournament that's going to be starting this weekend, hosted by Ufigo himself. Right, he's going to be hosting a tournament there in Soweto for the under 15s. There is ladies, there is men's. So if you are in Soweto anywhere near, be sure to go out there. Obviously, 7th and 8th is going to be the first rounds at Mzimhlope and Shanti grounds. And then next week on the Saturday, it's going to be top 16 and top 8. And then the final is going to be on Sunday. So please support, man. We always speak about bringing up the game. So support our new footballers, man, our under 15s. We always complain, but we need to be there for that. So yeah, please check that out. And obviously on to the topic for today. Guys, don't get me started about Chiefs as chips, man. Don't get me started. You know, you guys have trophies. You think your trophies are everything, eh? But do you have chips? No. Anyway, as you know, with a very big match, there's always a word from the coach after it. The way people don't care about this Bumamara coach, they didn't even put him up. So let's listen to what Coach Rulani had to say about this game.
Yeah, no, thanks, Shupi, and good afternoon to members of the media. No, Bumamuru, of course, a very difficult side. They played, since playing us, they've played a game on Sunday, and they drew 1-1. We still know that they've got some very good players in especially Valentin and Eldinho in the midfield. Valentin up front, the number 11, very aggressive, fast. with good possibilities for goals. Eldinho with the play and also with shots from outside the box. Hakizimana was very good as a centre-back. They missed Bangala, the number 5. I thought when we did analysis was probably one of their best players. But the other left-footed centre-back, Mama, was also very good. And so a good team with a lot of possibilities, typical team in the Champions League with physicality and speed and a good threats on set pieces. So we've got to be ready and make sure we just get the job done and see the team in the group stages.
Coach, any questions from the floor?
Okay, Coach.
Shomtogo.
Obviously, my friend Lawrence called it the dark arts. Looking at the Pirates-Chiefs game, the number of fouls, the number of yellow cards, going into Champions League, I mean, as you go further in the competition, you know how tricky it can be. I mean, from experience, you look at what happened at White at the 2 red cards. Is that a concern for you? What would you be doing about it if it is a concern?
No, not at all. I'm not concerned about it because some of the bookings I've thought have not been bookings, and some of the situations I think, some of the situations we've been on the receiving end, some of the situations we have not been on the receiving end, but that's football, you know. So let's go with it and let's see how far we can go. We do a lot of analysis. We check the situations. We speak with the players, even about yellow cards. We've done an entire presentation on that in some of the situations where we've analyzed some of the bookings, some of the fouls, and even some of the decisions that didn't go for us. So we try to tidy up our game a little bit more and try to make less mistakes. We speak a lot about our performances one-on-one with the players, sometimes in the group. But yeah, not concerned because our main priority is the result, and the result allows us to continue to get confidence and continue working. So very proud of the players for everything they've done at the moment.
Thanks, Coach.
Tabo, then Mazola, then we move that side.
Thanks, Coach Tabo from the NCA.
Sure, Tabo.
Firstly, congrats on very remarkable fight last night. So coming back to the Champions League, since September, taking over, you arguably have mastered the, I don't want to say squad rotation, but the importance of that playing players differently without killing the system of the team. How important is it for the program of the Sundowns?
Yeah, very important. I think we've got a big squad and we have to use everybody. And everybody was one of my concerns when we reopened and started the new season. And I listed a couple of concerns with the players and credit to them because a lot of the things that we spoke about, they've really worked on. And one of those was the level dropping when we've rotated the team, and not just the level dropping in relation to results. There were so many of the results, like Maritzburg, for an example, we should have won. Stellenbosch, when we rotated, we should have won. Amazulu, when we rotated 2-2, we should have won. But if you look at also the performances were not as good as the performances when we didn't make rotations. And so one of the most important things that we even started working on from pre-season, even in the friendlies that we played, was to instill the same type of mentality within the players. And as I said even earlier, credit to them because they've done exceptionally well with that, and you see it even in the friendly games. There was a very good friendly game 3 weeks ago against Sekhukhune, where we had some of the youngsters playing and some of the senior players playing, and the performance was very good, very good, and so that gives us a lot of confidence to trust the players, but also the players also give each other trust because it's important that they trust each other and they know that they won't fail each other. They'll work hard for each other, and even in difficult moments, they can rely on each other to back each other up and support each other. So, yeah, it was an important consideration, but it's something that's also an important part of big clubs. Big clubs, yesterday I got home, the first thing I watched was Manchester City to see why they lost or how they lost to Newcastle, and I saw the rotations, and this happens even at that level, and every single player has to perform and assist the team to get the results, and it's not easy. And Manchester City is a good example last night how difficult it is. So you've got to give a lot of credit to the players, and the game of football belongs to them, and big compliments to them for working on making sure that they produce even with the rotations.
Nazo, okay, so because there's no Pumamaru press conference, I just allowed Coach Rulani to speak a little bit longer. Shout out to Dstv fans. That's where we get these press conferences. They take the time to go out and get these press conferences for us so that we can listen and hear what the coaches are saying. I'm going to jump in quickly, and then from there, I'll allow us to come in and we'll speak about exactly what we learned from this game. I think for me, the most important thing about the Sundowns team is that for all of the success they've had, for all of the strength they've shown, for all of the dominance they've shown, the one thing you can't say about the Sundowns is that they don't take games for granted. And I think where Pirates failed was that they took Ijwaneng for granted and they didn't make it in. And everything that I spoke about in terms of Orlando Pirates and the rotation and all of that, Sundowns again shows us what it means to rotate, why you rotate, what it means to play in these games. It's very easy. They could have gone out there and rested on their laurels, but they went out and 6-0 on aggregate. 6-0 on aggregate in order to get into these Champions League group stages. So in everything, there's not too much you can say about the Sundowns team that hasn't already been said before. They just broke Chiefs' 18-year-old record for an unbeaten run. Now they've qualified for the Champions League. And that just shows you the gap between them and everybody else and the seriousness of this team. So we give them all of the props for that. 6-0, they've progressed through. Let's see what happens after that. Guys, I'm going to open up the lines and we can speak about some of the aspects of this game. Remember that you have to be following me. You have to be following me on TikTok in order to join and add your voice to the show. So join me on TikTok and then you'll be able to add your voice. Let me hear. Guys, the request button should be available now. Pare vele le rekisa di zimba kona churena. Yeah. Oh. Luna, ale rekisi next. Diversified portfolio. It's about diversified portfolio. You are not cheap there. Diversified portfolio. Let me bring in the first panel. There. Let's see, and then let's let in Maronza. Did you buy a packet of my chips?
I only those me bra. Gama go slow. Me gama go slow.
Tell me, Maronza. What did you think of this game? Yes, Sundowns, their performance against Pumamaru, and is it about time we give Rulani his flowers?
But not yet. Not yet.
Why not?
No, man. I'm still saying, he hasn't. As a coach, he hasn't run around. I think he got the team in a good state. He got a team. I know people think like I'm against Rulani when I talk. No, I'm not. I'm not. As much as I see him most of the time, like I know him personally. I've checked with him. So when it comes to football, that guy can sit, he can watch games like us and all those things. So I know him very well. Like when it comes to, he's obsessed with soccer. Let's be honest. But for now, yes, I can give him flowers because of the team that he's having, which was assembled, and few of the players came when Pizzo left, and they
Okay.
gelled very well. And that's what I can give to him. But I'm still saying he has not been challenged. I still
Okay.
say that.
But
For
then
me,
what did you think of the games?
no. I think they're playing very well, but I'm still, the good thing about them is that they are consistent.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, they are consistent, and that's the good part about them. And you one as a Pirate supporter, one shy away and say, ah, and all those things. No, they are consistent. That is the good part about them. You know, even sometimes when they play, sometimes you don't understand what they're playing, but at the end of the day, they grind a win and win the game. That is the beautiful thing about them. Like
Okay.
with supporters or not, less supporters, they grind the game and they win. Simple as that. But I wish, come Saturday, please. Come Saturday, please. I wish we could have a referee from Egypt and two assistants from Algeria, and come and officiate that final against MTN 8. I wish I can have Arabs, honestly speaking. Yeah, 2, 3 Arabs from Algeria and fourth official from Egypt, somewhere that side, east.
Okay.
Yeah, because la one now babambana ngenyawo man. Hayi ngeke.
Let me bring it to Kumo. Kumo, udirekile di chips taka.
My bra, you can't trust Chiefs to win. Why would I trust you to with food? Like no kolala. I cannot do wish.
Tell me, as a Sundowns fan, how did you see these games versus Pumamaru? And is the time, man, to just say, as in Rulani, here are your props?
My bra, obviously, I can't speak on the game because I was following their Twitter feed arrive on again.
So,
but I'm happy.
Eh.
It wasn't even shown.
Really? On the Mamelodi Sundowns?
Yep.
Okay.
Nothing, no Facebook, nothing. The only update, you got WhatsApp. Okay. So.
Are you still with me?
But
yeah, there we go.
Rulani, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. Can you hear me? Okay, yes. I stand corrected. Mara, it wasn't going to be televised on any platform, so I gave up. So yeah, man, you know what? Rulani's ball, why this is a new era for Sundowns. In the past, we only used to serve shoe shining piano. We used to, I don't want to use this word, but like, okay, we never used to grind out results. So with Rulani, we don't care about attractive football. It's not our priority anymore like our previous coaches made the priority to be. Now we know how to win dirty. Experience it is not about good football, it's all about the results. So to judge Rulani based on that, because like football is a results-based and trophy-based sport. So far he's breaking records. We know how to, he's also implementing new forms of playing, like mainly like attacking from the wings, not attacking directly, like typical Sundowns teams of the past, introducing of young players. So I see the changes, and so far they're working for him. I'm happy for Rulani, even though he's yet to win us a major trophy all by himself. So far, so good. I mean, like, he's the most successful so far. The best. He has the best start of any Sundowns coach in the league so far. So I can't complain.
Okay. King Samora, how are you?
I'm good, my guy, and you?
No, I'm okay, my brother. 2 questions. Your general thoughts about this game that Sundowns played, and then also, is the time, man, that we give Rulani his credit?
Unfortunately, no, I've been listening to the guys here, Babuletsing up to so far, and some of them I'd like to agree with them. More especially more interested a lot like Marosa Udi. I mean, Rulani, yes, is doing good at the moment, under the current situation with every team. Sundowns is miles ahead, you understand? But for me, like I won't say like a Kemofadi flowers, because like it's like maybe a privileged son. Or like maybe go have a double story house with a posh car and a smaller business there. You know what, like you won't struggle like for anything. You understand? Because you find everything on a silver platter already. You understand? So, Kutle, one of the previous speakers, or like, or it's on the comment section, or like he didn't build anything. Office is true, he didn't build anything. He found everything like set up. Like by Pisto and his technical staff, you understand? So he just took over. And then taking over is not for him, like it wasn't for him to change everything at once. He took it step by step, you understand? But although like at the moment, the value, like he's compared to none like Mumzans. Because of when you look at other teams, he's a wishy-washy each and every weekend. We can't see direction, but with Sundowns, we see who like what is their main project, and then their main project, like those guys, they understand everything and everything that they are doing. You understand? So based on what on the weekend game, Azanka level, honestly speaking, so I won't judge much, but scores the Kalusit or no, Sundowns was dominating as usual. Hence you mentioned or like the aggregate is 6-0. Yes.
Okay. Let me bring in Mkomta. How are you doing?
Good, my brother. How are you?
I'm okay, my brother. I'm okay. I'm asking everyone today, did you buy my chips?
In fact, I is that what we're doing now at Chiefs? Trophy, register the Chiefs.
Why chase Sundowns when you can chase Simba? Who knows? Anyway, tell me, what are your general thoughts about Sundowns if you did watch the game? And is it time for us to give Rulani his flowers?
Let me start with the flowers thing. Guys, let's be honest. Saying Rulani found everything in order as Sundowns, that might be true, but which team is playing now? That is Rulani's team. Those are players that have been signed by Rulani. They are delivering. He is even breaking records, and then you don't want to give him his flowers. Come on, guys. That's a big team. That's Mamelodi Sundowns. You don't just put in, because if we are putting it the way we are putting it now, saying no, he found Sundowns a well-oiled machine, then you mean anyone can coach Sundowns and succeed as Rulani? That's what you're simply saying. Come on, guys. Come on. Let's give him his flowers. These are his own players. Look at the squad. Look at the guys that are here now on your screen. These are guys that have been signed by Rulani, and they are delivering. From the goalkeeper up until front line there. Hauna bo pesitao da libo bari bo mang ba bang ba. Libo billiard. But the guys. Now this is Rulani's team. And he's delivering. He's still winning. And we are saying, nah, we're not going to I am giving him his flowers. He is showing. Now, if you listen to that clip, if you paid attention to that clip, that post-match interview, you can tell he even knows the players of the other team. He's saying that guy at the front there, he names him. He said he was not at his best. He even knows his qualities. That's a football manager. I agree with Umaronza when he says that guy is obsessed with football. And it's working for him. He is indeed obsessed with football. He's obsessed with Manchester City. He's obsessed with everything that happens in football. And it's working for him. So you don't want to give that guy flowers, the guy that works hard. The guy that goes and sign players and those players come and deliver. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Let's be honest. So I was listening to him, and I couldn't help it but acknowledge the fact that he studies all his teams that is his opposition. He makes sure that if he's going to play Amazulu, he knows all the players of Amazulu, who plays what position, and that's a football manager. Even you said Pirates. You said something about Pirates. You said it didn't seem like Pirates. I think you said they
didn't take it seriously.
They didn't take it seriously, and I get why you're saying that, because it seems as if Pirates was playing with people that they don't know. It seems as if Pirates didn't even do their homework. Now shift that to Rulani. Rulani doesn't care what league you're playing in. When you are facing him, he's going to know all your players that you are going to bring to him. So that is why I'm saying that is a football manager, and then we need to acknowledge people like this. And I'm happy that we have Rulani, because it means that we have a future in terms of the Bafana. If the coach in Bafana leaves, and we've got people that we can rely on, Rulani and Pitso Musaman, who are students of the game, who have shown us that you need to study the game. Don't just be a coach. Don't just get a paycheck and be like, I'm just going to sign players and play football. No. Study the game and come up with your own tactics and so forth, and win games. He's breaking records, and we're saying we're not going to give him flowers. I'm giving him all his flowers. I'm giving him all. That is why I think actually this season in CAF, this is where he's going to be tested the most, because now he's under pressure to try and win something. In terms of continental football. Yeah. Thank you.
No, thank you. If I can just jump in, look, guys, you can't. I'm not one to hold it against a coach because they found a good situation. I can't, because I can't ask him to go coach somewhere else just for me to feel a little bit better. What we can do is say that the results are the results. There's a reason why he's 8-0 in the league. There's a reason why they're going to the MTN8 final. There's a reason why they're going to the Champions League final, the Champions League group stages. There's a reason why all these things happen, and it's coaching. So I could complain, you could complain, and you could say all these things, but at the end of the day, the numbers don't lie. I've told you guys that I'm not one to again say, no, Sundowns must slow down so that everybody can catch up. They must carry on going. And I think the sad part about our league is that Sundowns is the only team that's losing sleep. Sundowns is the only team that's losing sleep about Sundowns being number one. Everybody else isn't losing sleep. To the point where you have to make sure, Mamaru, 2 legs to go qualify. They made sure 6-0, no games played, go through, do what you need to do. Other teams, we spoke about them earlier, seems as though they weren't ready for that. And we need to give them props. We don't mark Pep Guardiola down for coaching Man City, for coaching Bayern Munich, for coaching Barcelona. We don't mark him down. So I don't think we should mark down Rulani. The only fight that I give to people, for me, is that he's had an amazing start, but in my eyes, I don't want to compare him to Kevin Hunt and those guys yet. I don't want to, because a lot can happen in a career. You could be coaching cheaper tomorrow, or not even cheaper. Let's say you could be coaching a small team tomorrow, or you could be at the top of the world in Europe. But he doesn't have that time in yet. But up to this point, it's been an incredible start, I think. Maronza, do you think that Sundowns and maybe in the broader scheme, South African football, we are ready to play ugly? Do you think that, and I know I've asked you this before, but we hear about Sundowns playing, and we say that Sundowns is easier to get to, and we say that Sundowns looks weaker this season. But is it just that they're playing a different type of football? Are we ready for that type of football?
You know what? I think when there's changes, right? Every time when there's changes, there will be a different way of doing things. You know, any change. You know, it could be in a government and all those things. When things are changing, there will be complaints. There will be challenges and all that. So, you know what? Football is all about results. You know, football is about results. I can complain as much as I want. I say I'm a Pirates supporter. Let them bring a referee from England. But if they're good in what they're doing, you have to cheat sometimes to win. You know,
Okay.
it's there. And another thing you have to understand, as much as Sundowns, if you frustrate them, if you can check this season, I bet that I'm talking the truth. That the most highest fouled or team that fouls the
Fouling, yeah, the
most,
highest fouling team,
the
yeah.
most, the most, not even all the games, the yellow cards that they got, and all those things. It speaks the volume. You know, they I think it is because of if you start to frustrate them, they start to do mistakes. But I think teams they're not learning from that. You know, they don't want to be offensive going forward and try to frustrate them to do more mistakes, get yellow cards and all those things, red cards and all those things. And it seems like the referees they are already in their mind saying, Sundowns too good, they'll win. They don't concentrate on their job more because of Sundowns, whatever they are doing. I'm not saying they're supporting the Sundowns, but because of their mindset that we are having now to say Sundowns is good, even in the referees, remember that human beings is instilled into them. So it, football is it's all about winning.
Okay.
So if Sundowns, if we go back, Chiefs was doing the very same thing. They were too good, and they were winning. And then we say, Maraba Ropile. They won. At the end of the day, they have trophies in the cabinet because of that. But it is because of that we are humans, and when we're in the field of play, sometimes you cannot bear to say, "Hey, I made a mistake." But and done is that, you know. But I think it's not about cheating, but it's all about how good you are in doing that cheating. You understand me? So winning is winning. Whether you cheat, if there's a penalty on Saturday against Sundowns, which Pirates will win, I'll celebrate my heart out because why we won. At the end of the day, I don't care if it's a handball, whatever, I
Yeah.
don't care. I don't even look at the analysis to say, hey, bambuse kanjani. Ukuthi akashayawanga as long with penalty. So it is within us. So win is a win.
Okay.
Simple as that. The only thing is that hence they're introducing technology to oversee the mistakes that referees do as human beings. You know, try to change everything to
Hey,
make
Mara,
sports
we see what
easier.
the technology is doing in England.
Eh, ah,
Hey,
ah,
yeah.
chief, imali la kunemali khona la kunephepha. Imali umbango wezono mfowethu. They can bring technology and bring the ball to kube nomuntu oyicontrolayo phezulu. If there's money, he will miss because there's money involved. You know,
Uh,
uh, there is bookmakers. There are
uh,
so many things, guys. There are so many. This is sport. There are so many things. I'm a
eh,
parent
eh.
support. There are so many things. So
Ronnie, masibambe lapho cause I'm gonna need a disclaimer soon.
look at agent what he's saying. Agent, if that's only penalty, siyakudla baba sidlali now.
Let me bring it to Kumo. Kumo, I like that, the things we're bringing up. I like that the coach is aware. We've spoken about the left side of Sundowns issue. He addressed it. We spoke about early mistakes. He addressed it. He's spoken about it at least. Now he's even speaking about the fouls. Is Sundowns ready to is Sundowns and South African football ready to accept ugly football? And it's one thing when Chiefs is playing ugly, but Sundowns is Shushan and piano, and they're winning, they're grinding out results, as it was said earlier. Are we ready to embrace that in South African football and give it credit? Is it something that is making Rulani, is making us think of Rulani less?
My bra, I mean, like, out of all the teams we have in the PSL,
Yeah.
like Sundowns is the pinnacle of quality football, ne? And to see a change transition from quality every day just to play a normal like a normal play, you know, just to win. It's kind of difficult to accept, but in reality, we have to accept that one, and we have no choice because of Sundowns in Kev. They've played the best football across, like I'll live in there say it, ne? They've played good football better than your Al Ahlis, your Zamalek, your ASEC Mimosas, ne? But one thing those teams got right, they know we don't care about attractive football. It's all about the results, and that is what Rulani learned from those big teams, proper big teams. Now this is what you're gonna do if you wanna win. It's not about how you play. And South Africans, we will adapt eventually. I mean, like, it's not like we won't play that way anymore. Sometimes just some games are just much more important, and just to get the win and just move on, you know.
Okay. King Samora, you know, when you hear people speak about the helicopter, we speak about helicopter football, and you can hear good day says on the land. Now Rulani, he's winning all of his games, but we keep saying, it's weaker, it's closer. Are we ready for this new football that is results orientated?
Well, my guy, anything that works for you, keep it that way. You understand? Anything that works for you, that you benefit from it, keep it that way. I'm a Chiefs fan. I'm a Chiefs supporter. But you know what I love about your life, ne? And then this show. You bring football lovers instead of club lovers. You understand? I'm a Kaizer Chiefs fan. I'm a Kaizer Chiefs supporter. But I can't speak entirely like based on like or no. Everything else should evolve around Kaizer Chiefs. We should speak football, not football club. You understand? So coming back to your question, we cried a lot, and then like the Chiefs if let's say lose the league 2021, I mean 2020-2021 season. It was this thing where like Chiefs is playing one dimension kind of football. You understand? If it works for your team, keep on doing that. You understand? As soon as like you tamper with that, and then it got like already it demoralized some of the players. Like they are enjoying that, they are used to that. You understand?
Yeah.
Evidence to that. As a football fan or supporter, one will agree with me. Wabona Sundowns as beautiful football that they are playing this Shushan and Bia. As soon as you tamper with that as an opponent, they start playing this dirty football, kicking players all over the field because of you frustrate them. Like understand? Evidence to that, it was this game between Kaizer Chiefs, first like MTN.
Yeah.
Kuliso Mudau should have got a red card. He was on a yellow card, and then there was the time Molo Wile Atwara a Faula Barkimang Refrosla. And then a Kopela Twarelo in a way, a Mahaga, you understand? Had it happened or like a Frosla Mola protesting, it was a red card for him. You understand? We all know her like a Tembas one faked like a false penalty against Orlando Pirates, and then whereas like so that is their system. Hence I'm saying like if it works for you, keep on doing it. Up to so far, like Renard level, let's say Shushan and Piano at Sundowns. It's more deeper than that. It's not all about Shushan and Piano. Right now we are focusing on Shushan and Piano only because of Sundowns is winning and playing beautiful football. But there is a secret ingredient Rulani wins to those players. Hence Maronza said something, or it's Kumo said something, or like that Shushan and Piano back in the days didn't grind this result for Sundowns. Understand? At some point they lost games. Even Pito himself, at some point they lost games. So right now, Rulani, there's something sort of like it's not on everyone's eyes. is only between him and the players and his technical staff. Cause like this team, man, I mean, it's Uti. I was telling this other brother of mine in Soweto.
Yeah.
Ne? He's a fan of Sundowns. I was telling him this thing the other day, where like Sundowns now is on gear 3. As soon as other teams realize or no, Sundowns is on gear 3, and then they start infiltrating that gear 3 position, Sundowns will move maybe to gear 7 or gear 9. As the evidence right now.
Yeah.
You understand? So if maybe for him, I do think like at some point he does encourage his players or no. If what we are trying to do to win games doesn't work, let's try something else. Let's try something else. And then at the end of the day, it's not all about individual brilliance. Yes, individual brilliance will come only when the team is winning, when they are relaxed, when they are sure with the results, no or no. We have already won, or this game is already in the bag. Understand? But if they see or no, we are losing. Good, like, I mean, those guys, man, they look at this guy, Baba Fetsa Mumasaina Nogo Super Sport. What he did to Mtanzani. I mean, it's something similar like at some point, coach Area would or no, like you have to take a risk. And then if we lose, we lose. And then if we win, we win. Hence, it was the evidence during the previous season. Like he never made a noise out of it. Yes, it costed them a place in the final, but he never made, because he understands his project with his players. Understand? So these guys, man, yes, like now I can say, or like hence Max said, or like no, it's time we give Rulani his flowers. But now for now, he hasn't been challenged yet.
Okay.
He hasn't been challenged yet. Understand? If maybe just a minute, if maybe he like at Pirates, he has done what he's doing now at Sundowns, and then I was gonna say, yeah, no, he's up there. But as Pirate, he failed. We all know who like Kutulebianko Pirate. Understand? So for now, it's too early who like Rulani his flowers. Yes, Sundowns is dominating, is playing beautiful football that everyone is wishing to play, but it's too early to give him his flowers.
Okay. Mko, are we ready to watch ugly, results-orientated football as a nation? Because I feel that part of the reason why maybe Rulani is not getting his flowers like that is because this is a 1-0, 2-1 Sundowns, and we're ignoring the fact that they're getting those results either way.
Yeah, Ukumo. I echo his assertions. Kumo uyibeke kahle. Rulani watched the guys he was playing with, or the opponents he was playing with, Kukef. There was nothing attractive about Al Ahly's football.
Yes.
Nothing. Last season, if you checked, nothing at all. You know what they did? They scored goals and defended. They scored goals and defended. So he looked at it and he was like, if these guys are getting this result and continue to set all these records in Africa, why am I still playing Shushino in piano? What does it bring to the Sundowns establishment? It doesn't bring anything. So I believe that as South Africans, we need to move away from Abu Ibaitu Bafit. Namashibobo and stuff. Can we forget about that football? Because that was only to entertain the crowd. But you need also to win trophies. That's big in football. If you're winning trophies, then you're setting new standards on the, like in the game, and then obviously football evolves. So you can't be stuck on that type of a game. So I believe that we need as fans to adapt to this new style. Even Kaizer Chiefs and Pirates as well can also try and factor in those things into our teams to try and make sure that the focus is on winning games, not on entertaining football fans, because you can entertain them now, but now if you don't win that game, then they throw things on the pitch because you did not win the game. Now they don't care about what you did on the field in terms of entertaining them. They're asking you now, why did you not beat Sundowns? Why did you not beat Orlando Pirates? Why are we out of the top 8 now? You get what I'm trying to say? So fans as well, they want to see you win. They don't want you to just entertain them. No, they want trophies as well. So your focus as a coach and as a club or football manager is to make sure that you win games. How you win them, that's what you need to work on. How you going to win those games as a coach? That's what you need to work. And we feel that Rulani has worked on that. That is why Ukumo was making those assertions to say he has learned from all this way that Casablanca and all these other teams, oh, they are able to beat us because they only focus on scoring goals and defending. So having 80% of the ball position doesn't work anymore if you're not winning the games. Does it work? Does it benefit the team? It doesn't. You spend all that money traveling the whole of Africa and then you come back with nothing. Let's win games. That's the bottom line.
Okay, thank you, Mko. I want to cycle in the next panel. If you haven't followed, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, whether on TikTok, please just press the button, guys, and follow while I'm here. I think for me, here's the thing. There are many ways to skin a cat. And I think a lot of our coaches and a lot of our people get stuck in wanting to play a specific football that maybe you don't know. And I like the comment about he went out into Africa and he lost. What was the biggest criticism of Rulani when he was playing in Africa and when they lost that game to Wydad? It's beautiful, nah? But there needs a time where you're more pragmatic. There's a time where you're not going forward. There's a time where, frankly, you need to defend. A lot of people were saying, Bagu, Pabo Charlie, and those type of players who are going to come in and solidify that team to see out that game. So I think that really stuck with Rulani because that's how the African game is played. Think about what the Al Ali guys were saying about Upizzo. It's got no style. It's got no... But 2-1, 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 1-0, 2-0, won the trophies. So I think that's where Rulani is going with this. And I think part of the reason that we don't view him very highly is the same reason why we don't view Gavin Hunt high. Because we say that Gavin Hunt's football is ugly. But he finishes third almost every season. He's won, 4 leagues? He's got 4 league titles to his name. But because he plays ugly, we don't understand it. We don't get that and we don't want that and we complain about that. This goes back to 1980s Chiefs when Jeff Butler was coaching Chiefs and he won everything. But the fans were like, you play such ugly football. We don't want you. So I think at some point we'll have to evolve. And that's where we're going to start seeing smaller, quote unquote, smaller teams coming into the game because they're going to realize that we're not going to be able to play the most beautiful football all the time. We may not have the personnel. We may not have the coaches for that. We need to stick to what we know what to do. Anyway, let me... Oh, Simpiro, thank you. Thank you so much for the gift. Let me bring in the next panel. Then Lucky. Oh, what's happening here? What's going on? Okay, I think that's everyone. PK, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm good, my brother. How are you?
I'm good. Firstly, Loarekile Machipsi.
It go slow, my brother.
Let's get into this game. So tell me, what are your general thoughts about this game? And then I'll make a comment about the rotation of the squad and how Rulani handled rotation as opposed to Jose Rivero handled rotation.
Yeah, awesome. Firstly, let me, like he always says, let me congratulate the Yellow Nation for the win. They are working so hard. Look, Rulani is a detailed coach.
Okay.
Rulani is very detailed. Whenever he plays a team, he understands an individual player and he matches that player with his player. So look how he analyzed the the Pirates game, right? The league game. He was even telling you about the speed. Like I was amazed to say these players, they are rotating and they are doing 1 2 3 1 2 3. Then we're gonna manage them like it's a detailed player. That's what I can say.
Okay.
Look how yeah. Look on Saturday when he played, and we see these shots of uh, Mokoena Tebo. We see these shots coming and they remind us of Kekane. Whenever Sundowns, it has a blockage in the back, we can't penetrate, and we see that thing through Mayema and Mokoena. So how will you stop that mentality where you don't even know when will the players shoot or when will they play through? It's a difficult team, and his rotation, when he speaks about rotation, guys, we've been exposed for longest time by backline, but I can guarantee you will never score easy at Sundowns.
Okay.
You even if we are slow, even if in the build up, because they have a plan. He just spoke something earlier when we were listening to his interview. He said, and I quote his word. He said, for the list for the little players or the young ones, they have to depend on the old players. Whenever they make mistakes, it's a teamwork. They must all be accountability. So that's a build-up thing. It's not earlier when we were talking about Chiefs and Pirates in the game. I spoke about psychological football. Rulani is very psychological, but more than anything, he's a smart coach. This guy is very smart. He just mentioned how he went and watched the game of Man City. Someone will say, why would you waste your time and go and watch Man City's lose? And he was speaking about rotation. So you will never think that Shalulile can go and defend. You will expect him as a striker just to sit there and receive the ball, and that's what makes Sundowns different. Look at the first goal of Kaizer Chiefs. We see this thing. It also goes to, if you look at their injury, also it goes to fitness, how they are hardworking, and the short space of time on training and combination. But this guy, even in that space, is able to combine combination and rotate players. Look how we played Stellenbosch. Was it Stellenbosch or Skukun? The one that
I think it
Chiefs
was
was
Kukun. It was Kukun.
no, you guys were playing Skukun. I think it was Stellenbosch for us.
Yes, that game that was rained out. Yeah.
Yes, look the mentality of those players. When they score, and in my mind I'm like, no, it's just a learning game. So you are learning. Even if right now Ribeiro is injured, we are not sure he will come back, but it will be Murena can close that space like nobody's business. He can shoot, he can do everything. He can go backward and defend. So if you look how Sundowns manages players and manages game, whenever we go to play Amazulu, we know the strength of Amazulu, we know the weakness of Amazulu, and we choose players based on that one. If we are playing Pirates, you will see how we're gonna play Pirates. We're gonna have a lot of middle filters that are holding the ball. Why? To slow the tempo of the game, because Pirates is very fast. It's a fast game, and we're just gonna lock them and we finish with them. Thank you so much, my brother.
Let me bring in Kabetsi. Finally, number 37.
Hey, Mr. OT, how's it?
I'm good at you, man.
I'm good, my guy.
Warekile my chips.
Dilo tsa my friend. Ay, sinkotlor kop.
Tell me, what are your general thoughts about the game that you guys played this weekend? And then rotation, man. Explain to me, what has Rulani done right with this rotation, different to what Jose did?
Sure. So let me start with the game on Saturday. I think overall it was a physical game from Bumamuru. But from our side, I think there was a bit of variation in terms of like how we usually play. I think Rulani played with a more of a flat three, which I think Zungu was the man that was coming in between our centre backs in that particular game. But
Okay.
yeah, the playing style wasn't varying from the other games. The body language of the players was positive. Like you could see, like it's a Champions League game. Um, I couldn't take any negatives. I think the only player that was played out of position was Mabue, played on the right, but yeah, he's a very versatile player. I think the only scare from the game was the injury to Ribeiro. And yeah, my other concern about the game would be Maseko. That there's still a lot of undefined roles for the guy.
Okay.
But he's still young. I think he'll develop. In terms of the second question on rotation, I think what Roland has got right is the mentality in the squad. I think in the past, I think he mentioned it in his pre-match, right, or post-match, where he mentioned that previously when we rotated our team, you would see the game drop, or the level or the playing level would drop. But I think this season has got the mentality right with the players, and I think the players have bought into his playing style and the ideas that he's trying to do. And the one aspect that he got right with the players this season is having similarities in your players. Like you can see, for example, if a Zungu is playing and a Teboho is not playing, you can see a bit of similarities in what they're doing. So it's easier for you to rotate players. You can see, for example, a Mudiba playing in a role that Maema would play. So the similarities, identifying players with similar characters in your team, I think that's what's made rotation easier for us, because you swap out one player and you still have a player with maybe better qualities than the other, but a lot of similarities. And in the past, we struggled. For example, last season, Mayema got a red card and we struggled to find a replacement for him. But this season, you have a left-footed player in Ungu, and still you can find Mudiba playing there. So I think finding the right players in the right positions with a lot of similarities is actually what he got right this season in terms of his rotation.
Okay, no. Let me bring in Lucky. Lucky, how are you doing?
Hi, lega, man.
Kesha, I'm asking everyone. Was it regularly chip stack?
Ah, ke so e shopong, man. Nna ke ratela di try.
Oscar ka ditori tsa o tswa man. You must raketsa Kaizer Chiefs.
Ke support-a
Lucky.
local.
What are your general thoughts about this game that Sundowns played? And then also, what has Rulani done right? Car rotation high and keeping his team fresh already. That maybe Pirates couldn't do or didn't do.
Let me start guy AI rotation. I think the difference between more Pirates and Sundowns is that Sundowns have lots of quality. They have too much quality in their team. If you check Pirates, once Monar is not there, they put who's this boy who fouled Zwane in the league game? Alenorbo.
Yeah.
That boy. Yeah, you check once they take out Munyani, they put Shandu. But when you check Sundowns, when they rotate the players, back ends are quality from national team player to a national team player. Obas is still go to Grandstone. You find Bolibusa, they were top. Even they got the time yeah, Pizzo Msimani. So the difference is only the quality. They have a quality side, and so that makes the difference. And going to this game was over. It was nothing. So it was easy for them to rotate. And you when you put quality, it's easy for you to get results. Mm. And the injury of Ribeiro, that's nothing, because you see, who's this boy? Nasiri from Ethiopia is coming back. So wherever they lose this player, they still have so much quality in the stand and everywhere. Even Sirino, you can count him even though he's not part of the team. You understand that they have lots of quality. You can't say when you lose a Dupreez and then you say no, Mashian is there or Shabalala, then it's the same thing. But going to the issue, I don't know if we are going to speak about it on another round, but on the issue of Rulani, saying Rulani is, how do you think of, should we give him flowers? I think it's still early.
Okay.
It's very early. Yeah, but to be honest, he is a good coach. He's a good.
Okay. Okay. Let
Yeah.
me bring in Agent. Agent, how you doing, my brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Finally found my wallet. Hush.
And you must take the money out your wallet and go buy my chips.
Man. I long told you guys that Chiefs has long given up on being a football club. They're now a commercial club, you know, that they saw that.
We're not chasing you guys anymore. We're chasing
They're not-
Simba. I'm telling you, we're chasing Simba. Oh.
and I think this is my worry with Chiefs, you know. Two worries. You see, even with a bumper Vodacom sponsor, even with a bumper Kappa sponsor, there's still no bumper improvement in terms of the budget, if I can put it that way. So I think my chips are gonna sell, but my question is it going to increase the budget, you know, or is it gonna further increase the dividends of the Motaungs, you know? Chiefs is like keen to Manchester United under Glazers, you know. It's all about dividends. You know?
Yeah.
But it's okay, it's fine.
No, it's fine, guys. It's fine. It's fine.
We'll eat my chips alona. We'll my chips.
Eat your Doritos and eat your Doritos and play with your league sanctioned balls. Tina, we've got our own balls, we've got our own chips. Let's get on to the topic.
No, we'll eat chips on and off the field. Even chips girls, we'll eat them. It's okay. But
let's get on to the topic.
But one last thing, you know, I'm worried that I think it's only outside Chiefs fans. I think if once you start eating, you have no problem with Chiefs dividend striking, you know, because I see super fans are now relaxed. Your main bees, your papa was like congratulating Chiefs because you get freebies. Once you get freebies, you relax. Even you're always criticizing Chiefs. If you get freebies, you want to keep quiet, you know.
I'll reserve my comment.
It's okay, but let's go to Sundowns.
Let's get into the game. What are your general thoughts about what happened this weekend with your game? And then also, what is Rulani getting right with his rotation?
I think I want to start with the last one.
Okay.
Rotation. I heard parents fans talking about rotation. Here's the thing, right? In CAF or in CAF, if you want to rotate, make sure that the first leg you bury your team, you know, especially if it's away. Bury your team. Then when it comes to you can be flexible. You can rotate if you want. You know, that's the proper way of rotating. You know, that's what he got wrong. He went strong first leg. Second leg he went okay. It's fine. I can rotate. I have 4-0 down. You know, and he knew, like, you look at the team which started, right? You take, I think it's Mayema, who's not a starter. Maseko is not a starter. Mendieta is not a starter. Zungu is not a starter. Onyango is not a starter. 5 players. So even with that heavily rotated side, we can afford to make 5 substitutions and bring back those 5 people.
Yeah.
You know, which are going to make the team whole. If the team is not gelling and that team is giving us problems, you can still bring the 5 starters and the team is whole again. You know, rotation doesn't mean take out 11 players, bring out 11 players. It means change something, and if something goes wrong, you can always go back to the original plan. I think those are 2 things he got right in terms of rotation. And you look at players that started, which were rotated, except Onyango. all of them have had minutes. They always have minutes every game. You know, you talk of Umaseko, sometimes he started. You talk of Mendieta, sometimes he starts. He's always bring on in a sub. Zungu is always on as a sub, you know. So that's the proper of rotating. So rotation is give your players 20, 30 minutes every game so that they get the feel of the game. 2, you rotate 5 players so that if it goes wrong, you can change back to your original starting lineup. And 3, if you want to rotate in caref, go strong first, takes. Then secondly, you can relax. And then what was your first question again?
In terms of the general thoughts about the game.
No, I think I was disappointed by which team is it Tanzania? The team is from. I was disappointed by it. When you're playing in Sundowns, you're playing in South Africa, you're playing in the Mecca or the America of Africa. You have to come here with the attitude that I'm going to show up and show these guys that, you know what, there's a player here that you guys can buy, you know? Because Sundowns will always buy players who have experience. Teams like Uskukun and other PSL teams are always on the out, you know? So I think they didn't do themselves good justice in selling themselves, you know? I heard Rulani mention that there's a good player there who didn't show up. Why not show up in such a big game, you know? And I was also disappointed. It's like a certain mafia from Soweto. I know they operate like that. They gave those guys brown envelope to injure our players because those guys were super rough.
Allegedly.
No, I said it's like it's a simile. It's like I'm not saying it's like that. It's like they were given because they were intent on hitting our players. I'm not surprised they eventually got to Ujose. Not Ujose, but
Ribeiro,
you know.
Ribeiro.
You know, I'm not surprised they got to him because they're super rough on him. But otherwise, like I think as it on Kabetse, I think Maseko needs to be loaned to maybe a team which is gonna sharpen him. I think he has talent there. We have seen players who have talent but don't have the Sundowns IQ, you know. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. You can always get it with more game times and being improved. And it's not a bad thing to take them on loan. It's not saying you're not talented enough. Look at Ozwani. Ozwani was once loaned out. Or Doli is it Doli or Tau? One of them. I think Tau, not Doli. I think it was Doli from Ajax. Tau was loaned out, you know. Onyango was loaned out. So it's okay to loan out. I think maybe the difference between Upiso and what is his name? Rulani is Rulani wants to develop his own players, you know. He's going to give them a chance and hunt themselves. Upiso to say, you know what, guys, this is a big institution. You don't have time to teach you basics. You don't have time to say, when you are running, you have to pick up your head and look around, you know. Because Maseko has a problem of running, looking down, you know, so he doesn't see what's happening around him. Hence, he's making those bad decisions. So, I think for me, alone would do him good.
If I could just jump in on my end about this rotation thing. I don't know, guys. Maybe some of us who have driven old cars. I don't know if you guys have ever driven an old car. You know, the ones where you have to wake up in the morning and start it and rev it for 5 minutes in order for you to go. That's how I view rotation. Because there'll come a time when I'm going to need to call on those players to do something. But if you wake up and you start that car and you go, you're going to blow your engine. And I think that's what happens that's what Jose got wrong. You know, Rulani has taken the time to get some of the guys warm. If you guys remember, Uzungu looked completely out of place at some point. Even Rulani commented on Zungu looking out of place. Now Zungu can start certain games because he's been given some game time. Abo Masego, Abo Nku, Abo Onyango have been given time to get match fit, have been given time to catch up with the speed of the game, have been given time to do all of that, so that when they're called upon in a heavy time, or maybe this wasn't as heavy, but when they called upon in a tough place, then you are able to put them on and they're ready. The difference between that and what Pirates did is that Pirates put on a lot of guys who weren't given time to get that man, to get warm, to get that game time in, to get match fit, to do all of that. So when you call them up in a tough game versus Izwaneng, where you guys have lost the first game, it's like getting that Cressida and on a winter's day and just starting it and going. At some point, you're gonna feel that. So I guess that's what Rulani did very, very well. Maybe my 2000, you guys don't know what it's like to drive cars that you have to warm up in the morning. PK, I'm gonna come to you. Do the fouls worry you? Do the dark arts worry you? Because Sundowns gives away a lot of fouls, and do you think that that's going to catch up to you at any point, or do you think that, man, they're coached well enough in the dark arts to be able to, you know? And before you go, PK, I'm not saying the dark arts is bad. I'm an Arsenal fan, and there was a time when Arsenal was playing beautiful football. But you know, sometimes you just need someone to fall. Sometimes you just need someone to pull a jersey, take one for the team, or do something. I'm not saying it's bad, but does it worry you, PK, the amount of fouls that Sundowns gives away? Do you think it's going to catch up to you guys?
Hey, my brother, as you are asking that, I'm very scared of that because these CAF teams or players, they are able to shoot from range, right? They are able to capitalize on those mistakes. In fact, look at the way that they are equalizer or how they went through for the final. That was the simplest mistake, and I think for a moment we were unable to defend those things. And whenever Sundowns feel pressure nowadays, believe me, it seems like it's a teamwork of bring him down so that we can recover.
We can recover, yeah.
Yeah, because of their slowness to recover, they rather pull a jersey, they rather put you down, and if you look at them, their balls are mostly in swings. You look at they make the fouls from both number 2 and number 3 that side, right? Mutao and Abdil or this guy AB. Yeah, it's quite, and we fail to. I don't know, man. The more we get fouls nearer to our goalkeeper area, I get scared because even Rowan, I don't know, man. You see, when you want to expose him, that's the element where you can expose him several times. It's not like Kennedy. Kennedy, at some point when we were playing, I think it was last year, Kev, he saved crucial balls from Al-Ahly before Rowan came. Very beautiful. But now Rowan has that thing. I don't know. He's very much powerful on build up, but to defend. If you look at the balls that are really beating him, you will ask yourself, what's really going on? But he's a good goalkeeper. I can't take that thing from him. But the set pieces, Sundowns, I think its structure is not to defend, but to attack. It makes you defend, and they feel comfortable on putting pressure on you. The moment we get serious teams, like you look at Pesitao, and you will see what I'm talking about. The moment we play a big African team like Al Ahly or Wydad or any other teams, whenever they attack, you will see how probably even the red cards. We have seen this thing when we played Wydad first leg, when my Emma and Allende went out. Careless mistakes, and I'm very scared. It really worries me. I think honestly we must work on that one. Yeah.
Okay. Nkabetz, I'm gonna come to you. Same question. Do the yellow cards, not the yellow cards, do the fouls worry you? Or the number of fouls?
For me, I think it has its positives and negatives, right? So if you look at the negatives from it, is that we are picking up like a lot of cautions from that. And in bigger games like in the Champions League, you'll find teams that, for example, a Batril will go into like a yellow card early and they will exploit that. They will pin someone against them, take him one-on-one, and it ends up in a red card, right? I think those are the negatives, but you also have to look at where that originates. It originates from our rest defense, right? Normally, we play and live with a back two, which means that our rest defense isn't that strong, right? So we
Yeah.
are forced into making those fouls. And I think moving forward, it's something that Roland would need to look into. But on the positives are that the counter pressing is better because we kill off moves or we try and regain possession much quicker. I think you can reference to something Jose Mourinho once said, where he told Tottenham Spurs guys that you guys are more of a bunch of good guys, and I think
Yeah.
we need that aggression in order to be better in the Champions League, right? But the positives also are that we concede less and teams have less of creative chances like in our half, right? Because we're able to cut off like their opportunities and all that stuff. But yeah, I think the downside about it is that if you get a strong team and a team with better coaching staff that will be able to identify weaker links in the defense and plot against them into getting yellow cards much earlier on, it's going to be an issue for us. But yeah, every system has its positives and negatives.
Okay. Lucky. Should Sundowns be worried about the amount of fouls they commit, specifically in when defending transition? Is it going to catch up to them at some point? Should they be worried about it?
Yeah, I think it is not a big issue, especially more local, more kids there. Because as I said before, they have a huge bunch of quality players in their team. So here it won't be an issue, but once you get to the stage where you go to CAF knockout stages, group stage is going to be the same thing they did to Boomeruma. But once you get to the quarterfinals, the level changes now. Then things will be different. The I think Onkabet and PK did mention that they said a mouthful about it. But it won't be an issue here in PSL because they can rotate each and every week here in PSL. Only that they are not really challenged. Yeah.
Okay. Agent 007, we've spoken about this a few times, and I see, you know what, I really feel like Rulani must just listen to the show every now and then, because this was mentioned a long time ago about the fouls, and he's mentioning it now in this press conference. Do you think that it's going to be a problem going forward?
No, this teams, all these teams, they should just hire us. We wouldn't charge them much. Just a bonus. But I think like in like the panelists are saying, oh, for once, I don't know about like it's like you're Sundowns fan or what fan is it?
Like,
I'm a Sundowns fan.
it's all
Oh, what
Sundowns.
we
It's
have
all
all Sundowns fans.
Sundowns.
That's good. That's good. And I think what Baxter said about Chiefs. About Chiefs fans, what I can say about Sundowns fans is all of them are smart. You can hear them. You can hear this. You can hear the panel almost.
Is it smart or not under pressure? It's nice to speak when you're not under pressure. But anyway.
Yeah, all 57 of us are here. But I think it's worrying because I think there's a higher tolerance, higher zero tolerance in CAF. I think we'll consider a lot of red cards if you continue this way, and that will affect us. We're gonna lose games we're not supposed to lose. We could have beaten Wydad in Casablanca. If it wasn't for that Miami red card, wasn't Miami or Allende, one of them. Both of them actually, was both of them. Yeah, I remember. So I think we're gonna get a lot of red cards if we're going to continue this way. And unlike other teams, unlike what is this guy's name? The Speedster Chiefs, that road runner. He is gonna target AB. If AB gets a yellow card, first few minutes, someone is gonna be pinned on him. The road runner is afraid of being injured. Those guys are not afraid of leaving the field with injury, so they're gonna make sure they go for AB. And I think we looked a bit more stable without AB. I think for me in CAF, we should at least do away with AB. If you want to play him alongside Umvala, as the two centre backs, and bring a natural left back there. But on the other side, the flip side is, I think champion. I think Peter said it, but to win the CAF, you have to play ugly. You have to play ugly. So I think Coach Rulani saw that sometimes you have to win ugly. Because at the stadium, I still remember the game. We were shouting at the coach, the technical team, the analysts, because analysts stay behind us. We were shouting at them that, guys, bring in a defender, guys. Bring in, but they still wanted to play pretty football and play pretty football, get considered. But again, I think he also saw that because we play the Janjan pressing or the counter pressing football, the many disadvantages of Janjan pressing is if that press is beaten, then you have a numerical disadvantage at the back. So how do you do that? How do you counter that? So you have to counter that by fouling. Instead of letting the play go on and becoming a more dangerous play. And also, I think because of the intensity of it, of pressing when you lose the ball, mentally and physically you are tired. Some of the challenges I feel like they're not necessary. It's just mental fatigue. So it's affecting them. I think they have to work on that. And lastly, some of the fouls I feel like is just what is it, laziness, because they're not speed players. They can't run back, so they say, what, let me just foul and get a yellow card. So I think we have to work on that. So I'm worried about it in short.
I think from my end, the scary part about Sundowns' fouling is what Agent said there at the end. If you see where Sundowns is fouling, sometimes it feels as though there's no need to foul there. Sometimes it feels as though we are so scared, or they are so scared that when they see an opportunity for them to, it's running towards my back too. I have to pull. Somebody has to pull something. Somebody has to do something. And I think that's scary in two phases. One, because your midfielders are exposed to those yellow cards. And then number two, do you trust your defense? If it's 3-on-2 and your defense has one more person, do you have to pull the player? Can you trust those guys? And like Agent said, the big difference is that in CAF, you're gonna find a lot of Rulani-like coaches who will take advantage of that. Take example, Chiefs played Sundowns and AB got a yellow card very early. I think it was versus Uduprea. In CAF, AB would not rest after that. They would push down AB up until he gives up that red card. Doesn't happen in the PSL. So I think they're not going to get tested like that in the PSL. But in the big games, in the CAF Champions Leagues, in the places where questions and answers are asked, it might be a weakness. PK, 30 seconds. Can you give me a closing statement for tonight?
Yes, bro. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Let me just say, probably sometimes whenever we talk about logical weights like giving Rulani his flowers, sometimes maybe we need an explanation. What do you say? Jomo just make a good statement to say this guy is a good coach and for me I think that's giving flowers. Probably people think that when we say giving flowers, we mean when we see actual results of attainment and achievement of cups. No, the guy is performing, the guy is good, that the guy is working hard. We can see that both in presses. Whenever he's asked about his opponent, he knows his story. Whenever he comes after the field, you can see the application of the preliminary statement concerning the game. So this guy knows football and he's still young, he's going far. The problem about us, South African, we even disgrace Sundowns whenever it represents a good football of South Africa. And sometimes we must just take our badges aside and look at the quality and what it brings to the football fraternity as a whole.
Okay.
Every team wants to beat Sundowns. Why can't they go pound in pound cheaper and Sikukuni? Why Sundowns? It means that there is something that Sundowns is giving, and the moment you beat Sundowns, you know you are going somewhere. Then you can work on that one. So we honestly must appreciate the football that we are getting. Sometimes mediocrity must be called out without favor, without agenda, and that's football for me. And thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much, PK. Onkabetse, quickly, 30 seconds, closing statement for today.
Cool, man. So I just want to also echo on what PK said, right? About Coach Rulani, right? I think as South Africans, mostly we define people by their mistakes, like mistakes they've made in the past. And I think the Orlando Pirates journey will forever cloud Coach Rulani. But if we are realistic, right? Yes, people will say he inherited a Coach Peter squad, but it speaks to every coach can inherit a squad, right? Also, it speaks to the continuity at Sundowns, unlike other teams that sell Avoma, Simba chips, and stuff like that. But yeah, so for us, if you look at Coach Rulani, right, the positives for me is that he's learning on the job, right? Obviously, he will have his own mistakes, right? But if you look at what he's done so far, he has for me, a better playing style than Coach Pizzo did, better win ratio. And if you look at the team, it's improved, right? Since he took over, we had an issue of set pieces. I can't remember if we even considered like a set piece this season. Defensively, we are conceding less. But people will always focus on the negatives, right? Like he's getting more yellow cards and stuff like that. But yeah, if you look at the positives, the positive is that we as Sundowns friends, we appreciate what the direction in which Sundowns is taking, and so far so good with Coach Rulani. He has his mistakes, right? But the positives are that he's learning from it. And once again, thanks for letting me into the OT, and cheers to the rest of the guys.
That's fine, guys. I'm going to send you packets of these chips. You're going to see. Let me bring in Lucky. Let me bring in Lucky. 30 seconds. Give me a closing statement for tonight.
I think we should put PK there at the last because he articulate everything so well. You end up not knowing what to say afterward. But on the issue of Rulani and the squad, and but again, squad say ask from Pizzo. What I can say is that when we talk about the foundation, we are not talking about the squad. We are talking about the mentality of winning, the team winning, the environment, the discipline in the team, everything, how things are run, how things are done. You understand? So how we go through Africa, how we do things. Those things we are talking about the foundation when we say Pizzo laid a very good foundation for everyone. So for us to say no, let's give him flowers. The Super Sport did approach him before they put who's this guy from Richard who's coaching Richard Bay. They did say come and coach Caetano. They say come and coach, and he said no. Because you could see what's happening there. You have to start from scratch, everything. You understand? He went to cheaper and say cheaper. Let us do things this way. Cheaper people say no, we can't do what you are saying. So, but what I'm saying is that let us wait until he get tested.
Okay.
He was tested against Wydad. We saw what happened when he placed it at that stage. He was tested against Pito there, Al Ahly, when they were knocked out when we were knocked out in the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
So let us wait until he get tested or until the fixture get congested, like the players get tired. Because
Okay.
what I learned from people is that they say, it's how you finish. So it was important for how Sundowns finish, but with Rulani, it is how you start. Because if you could see last season how they finished with the Amazulu draw, cheaper, and those so many draws, and then they lost from Wigan. So we will see when the league ends there by March, April, and May. No, I thank you
Okay.
very much. This is a good platform, man.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much, my brother. If you haven't followed, please follow. Agent, closing statements, 30 seconds.
Do you sell Ama chips? Eh? Do you have Ama chips?
Never gonna hear the end of this one.
Yeah, like you're saying, I'm saying, I'm telling you like that. Sundowns fans are intelligent. We can't say about other teams, but Sundowns fans are intelligent, my brother. Just accept that. But I think, oh yeah, before I complete my statement, I thought we were gonna speak about the Super Cup.
I want to give it more time because I want to make it
Time.
about
Oh,
communication in general. I'm gonna have that
okay,
chat tomorrow.
okay. Oh, tomorrow you have your own stress. I forgot. Ish. You have your headaches
Aye.
tomorrow. But anyways, but I think generally, this is the concept which I teach people when I go around schools that, we are all prisoners of birth, Some of us at 2000 don't know this, but some of us, hey, we had this towel, Pampas Shaka, and we didn't have Pampas, that's what we had, that thing that, with Scopelo, that's what we were born under,
Uh,
and that's what we were born under, but our kids are going to be born under Pampas,
mm,
So
mm,
we are all prisoners of birth, because you inherited something, you are still going to be judged if you are successful or not,
mm, mm,
Your success is not going to be as someone's success. If you inherit 1 million and you make 2 million, you are successful,
mm,
And if you are born with a silver spoon, then you should make sure that your kids are born with a golden spoon,
mm,
So I think what I'm saying is, Coach Rulani has improved. He's breaking records that his predecessors didn't break. Say what you may about his cockiness, his playing style, whatever. He's achieving a lot.
mm,
And it's not bad to say you can never be better than the master, but you can say, but I've achieved more than my master. Look at Pep. Pep was taught by, or he takes inspiration from likes of
Johan
Bielsa,
Cruyff.
Bielsa. But what have those people won compared to Pep?
Mm,
So that's not to say he's greater than them, but he's achieved more than them.
mm,
And Peter foresaw this, that what, Sundowns is always bullied in Africa, but he wanted to change that. He couldn't. But it looks like Rulani is changing that, So I think that is giving him his flowers. You're not saying he's better than Kevin Hunt. I don't think in his lifetime, whatever he achieves, I don't think he will necessarily be greater than Hunt or Picho. Even if he can win 3 caps, I don't think he'll be better than them in terms of the legacy they created, firstly, and also the conditions that they did under, So yeah, I think
Okay.
we give Coach Rulani his flowers. Giving him flowers doesn't say he's the greatest thing to ever be made after cheese, but we're saying he's a good boy, good job well done. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Agent. Go buy the chips. Look, in closing for me, when I say give flowers, I mean up to this point, he's broken a record. He's tied now with the Chiefs record for the best start, I believe. It was 8 games or something like that for a season. They broke the record for the 31 game record thing. So you give credit for that. My thing is very simple. The only problem is I can't speak with people who tell me that he's the best ever, he's this, he's that, because that's unfair. The reason why you look at Gavin a certain way is because you've got a whole CV of what Gavin has done. So the good seasons, the bad seasons, the amazing seasons, you've seen it all. You see Upito, for those who followed football before that, you've seen the Super Sport years, you've seen the other years, you've seen all of that, and you can craft an idea of what Pito is. So for me, it's too early to be saying, oh man, this guy is the best ever. That's where when some fans say those things, I'm like, hey guys, respect the people that have come beforehand, because, and I'm not even saying he's not that or he can't get to that. He could have the best career we've ever seen in our lives. But as long as it's still a hypothetical, sometimes, not a sometimes, a maybe, if it's still that, it becomes unfair on him to compare him to those coaches. It becomes unfair to those coaches. Similar to when we speak about Abo Arteta, similar to when we speak about all those other people. So for me, he's doing things great. The things that I give him credit for is, again, guys, just go onto his Twitter. Just go onto his Twitter account and see the different things he retweets. That tells you that that's a guy who wants to learn, a guy who wants to do things. Listen to his press conferences. He's been very transparent with where he's gone wrong. He said it before that I've made mistakes. Luckily, I've had people that can fish me out of them. He's spoken about different things that he's learned and seen. He speaks about things that they're addressing. So it feels as though there is a progress that is happening there, that he's learning, that he's trying, that he's growing, that he's doing all that stuff. In terms of the team, I can't hold it against you that you got a great team. I can't hold it against you. I can't hold it against you that you got a bad team. All I can say is, what have you done with what you had? What have you done with what you've been exposed to? I can't ask him to come out and go slower so that we can catch up. You know, there's a reason why we hold Pep in high regard. Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Man City. There's a reason why we hold Mourinho to high regard. Porto, Chelsea, Inter, Real Madrid. You know, two very different paths. But Oxalai, what they had, they did what they could with what they had. So I'm not one to say that, no, because he has all the money and all of that stuff. Great. There's been coaches that have spent a crap ton of money that haven't been able to do anything with that money. There's been coaches that have had nothing and been able to build. Double Kevin, you know? So yeah, I don't like having that conversation. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Like I say, if you haven't followed, please follow. I do this every Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon. And then also Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. We also have watch-alongs. Like tomorrow, Kaizer Chiefs is going to be playing at 7:30. So I will be here for that game and to cover that game. And we will watch that game together as a watch-along. If you missed out on any of the conversations and you want to hear about other stuff that has been spoken about, they are available on Facebook and YouTube. Facebook is Overthinking Football, the page's name. And then on YouTube is the Overthinking Football Show. Guys, my YouTube is monetized. So I need you, please, head on over to YouTube. Watch some videos. Give me, subscribe to the memberships. Do those things because that really helps to keep it up. If you can't do that, I ask that you please support your content creators, people that try and put on these platforms, that bring these platforms, by donating. There is a link there in my TikTok profile, and if you look in my Facebook profile, there is an account number there that you can send money to. Please, guys, it's getting a bit difficult to keep these things on, and I really, really, really need you guys to support me in this as best you can, whether it means watching the videos on YouTube, whether it means donating, whether it means joining memberships there on YouTube. There are perks that come with those things. I ask, didn't want to do this, but it's getting a bit tough. So please, guys, help me out there. And thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to the commenters. Thank you to the panelists, of course, the people that join me all the time. Thank you to Abo Cornelius on YouTube that watch me every day. I'll see you guys then tomorrow, 12:30. We're going to speak about the African Football League and generally how communication between SAFA, CAF, and the PSL is just bad. See you guys tomorrow, 12:30.